Hello friends, and welcome to our online card class with the Boho Sunshine Vibes. I'm really excited to come and teach you what you have in your kits. So we're going to be making these 4 designs like this. This one's my absolute favorite. I love this one. But we're going to be using the fun designer series paper that we have at 6x6 Boho Vibe, along with the fun stamp set Sunshine Vibes. So if you got the add-ons and you have the stamps and the dies and the paper, great, get all your supplies out. You're going to need some Secret Sea ink, some Darling Duckling ink, some white embossing powder with your heat tool and everything else in your supply kit should already be there. However, if you didn't get the stamps and the certain colors that we have or that I'm using today, no worries. Go look through your stamp sets, find some sentiment greetings that you would like to use, and use that instead. The card will still turn out just as adorable. It'll look similar to mine, just with a different saying on it. So let me turn the camera down and we'll get started. So here we go. Uh-oh. Alright, now I'm gonna get in my little rolly chair so that we can pull you up just enough that you can see what I got going on over here. Alright, I'm gonna move my light just a little bit because it is already bright in my eyes. I don't know about you guys. Alright, one more time. I will go ahead here. That way you can have the full view of what we got going. So this is the first one we're going to use. Now I have a disclaimer here, okay? So inside your kit, you're going to find a completely different die cut set than these leaves. If you went ahead and you got the set, see there's that leaf right there. Well, guess what? I misplaced it and I cannot find it anywhere. So when I was pre-cutting everybody's kits, I had to figure out a new leaf. So that's the one I'm going to be showing you today. But again, if you have this one, then take time to cut it out and then you can piece it together just like mine. But as always, feel free to have your own creative liberty with whatever you're creating, because that's what makes it that much better, right? So in your little pack here, move him over to the side. We'll see just how different it's going to be. Inside your pack, you'll have your embellishments and, of course, all of the little pieces. Now, there should be mostly 2 of everything, depending on what we're putting together. But you're creating 2 cards, right? I'm going to show you in the video how to create one, and then you can create it alongside with me, or, come back and do it yourself along the way. And so you'll also need some snips, a pencil. I prefer a pencil, your bone folder, and whatever adhesive you're going to be using. So go ahead and set your little pieces to the side. See, these are the leaves that I decided to go with. I'm sorry, let me get in the camera for you. That would help, wouldn't it? So I've used these instead. Let's see, this was from the Peace on Earth die set, which is one that is brand new in our catalog coming out. Maybe online. Is it online exclusive or the new mini? Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful. So you'll see how you can create this same look, just a little bit different version. All right, so you'll have your base piece here. I'm gonna have to move that out of the way because I need my camera. You'll have your base piece, so go ahead and fold it in half, just like so. Now this is a piece of Secret Sea at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this right here is another one of them beautiful pieces of designer paper from that boho pack, and that's the other side. So you can have your creative liberty with it if you would like and change it up a little bit. I am not. I'm going to keep it the way I designed it to be in your kit. Now go ahead and attach this piece to the front of your card base. Now you can use your dimensionals if you would like and put it on there that way. I, however, did not. I'm keeping it flat on the base here, okay? Now this piece you'll see you're going to need your scissors for, because you're going to cut this little white piece off of your rainbow. See, I didn't do everything for you. So go ahead and just follow down the line here. And don't tell me you can't cut stuff out. I know that you can do this. It's not hard. Just follow along here. Just take your time when you cut. I did try to make sure that it fit right in the corner, and it was the length that you needed. You just had to fussy cut that little piece out right there. Now again, I'm going to use my adhesive, and I'm just going to attach it right to the top. So I'm going to lightly use my multi-purpose glue, but you use whatever you are comfortable with in your stamp room. There. I love that. See how that's just a simple thing to come together. Now, with these little pieces, they're going to be a little fussy because they're tiny, right? But I'm just going to layer them on top of each other. Now, depending on how you want them on there, you can flip it over if you want it going a different direction. I'm going to just kind of, let's see, just lay it on there like that. Now, it might be a little bit harder to add adhesive if you're using your tape, your Snell adhesive. If you decide to use this fun stuff, be very gentle and just kind of add some dots along the way here. And I'm just going to kind of center him right down here. And this piece right here is using the cloud cover cardstock. So I'm going to add some dots, say just a few little light dots all the way around. Now this one I want to offset just a little bit. And kind of just gently pushing down that glue. You don't want it to over ooze, so just be careful. You will also find I had a little piece of the linen thread in there, and I know that a lot of you don't like tying your own bows, so yes, I did it for you. Now we're going to wait to attach him because we want to go ahead and get our stamp out. Now I did the thanks inside of the Sunshine Vibes, so I'm going to get that little stamp right there out so that we can stamp on top of this little white piece that you have here. Okay. See, there's my thanks. Now this little guy isn't very big. He is actually just like 1/2 by 2 inches on the basic white cardstock, and I'm going to take my Secret Sea ink and we're just going to stamp him. Now when you stamp closer to the left side because we're going to cut a little slant off of the right side, okay? Close that back up. I can use it. And then you're going to from the bottom corner, you're going to go up at a slant, just like so. And so that way you just have a little tag kind of coming off of him, right? Now take some dimensionals, flip him over, and you're going to take some dimensionals. And what I'm going to do here, let me see which way I want my ribbon or twine, you know, my bow. we're going to have our bow. I don't guess it really matters a whole lot because it's going on the back side of it. I'm sorry, I'm not staying in the camera here for you. But I'm going to start him in the center, and then I'm going to use my dimensionals to attach him down. So then that way, I'm not having to like tuck him in. Now you could, if you're more comfortable, take a glue dot and add it down there, and then you can add your dimensionals. It's not really having a wrong way to do this, okay? So flip him over, and then you just add, I kind of edited up to this second rainbow, the little lighter yellow here, but you can add it however you would like. And that is it. Isn't that cool? Very simple for you to do. Now take your embellishments. Now I'm going to be adding the lighter yellow color on here, and just kind of add a couple over here, just like, well, it ain't coming off my paper, just like so. And then I'm going to take the blue ones and I'm going to add them up here at the top, just to kind of give an opposite feel to it. So that's how that is. Now you should have, I did not, and for whatever reason, it's in my other pack because I'm sitting here looking at it. I didn't cut out my white piece that goes on the inside. So you know what, you guys? I completely did this card upside down and the wrong direction because I was trying to do it with you. So this is for a left-handed card. Look at that, it's gonna open up wrong. Oh geez. Okay, so here's the other one. Get back in the camera. So I have both of them sitting here. But that, and the inside, I just kind of stamped this because you can leave it as a thank you and you can write what you would like, or you might have a greeting stamp that you would like to put in there. So that's how that one is. That is too funny that I did that. Now let me show you one more thing. You have inside your pack envelopes for both of your cards. Now I gave one 6x6 sheet per pack, or per card pack that we're doing, and that's because you can get 2 off of it. Now all you're doing is, because this is going to coordinate with the card that you just made, this is what you needed your pencil for. So if you take your pencil and lightly go around the outside, this is giving you, because you're going to fussy cut this out and then add it to the top, okay? And then this will make the envelope match perfectly to your card on the outside. And of course you can always go and stamp it if you prefer and save this pretty paper for something else. But I like to do this. It just kind of gives a little extra for your card, and it gives that much more for someone when they receive it, because you know they have a coordinating envelope. Now see, you could use the other side if you prefer, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this one because it really ties in to the front of my card. Now take your adhesive and let's attach it to your back of this piece that you just cut out. Now you will repeat all of these steps with your other card. And I like to always say, you know, especially if you're making the same card, make the first one like I showed you, but on the second one, change it up and see, you know, either be the same, just a little bit different. You can, you know, it can go that way if you would like, and then just turn your thanks a different direction. So just a fun little thought. So now that you have that done, stick your finished card inside the envelope, and then now it's together when you're ready to give it away. All right? And like I said, with your other extra piece, this is for the other envelope. Just turn it over on this side and do the same thing, and that way you'll be able to do both of your envelopes at one time. So, ta-da! Okay, the next one we're going to do is the Sending Goods vibe. Now this is the one that has the packet with a cloud cover cardstock inside of it. So get this packet out. I'm gonna set it on this side this time because it was in my way a while ago. Now in this one, this is another one that's kind of fairly simple. Let's see if I can put it together the right way this time. Okay, it's opening this way. I'm working upside down. You know what? I found my other piece. There's my inside to my card. Too funny. All right. Okay, so it's your standard size card with your cloud cover. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4.5. Now you're going to have a piece of the Secret C. That is your 4 by 5.25. This is your first layer that we're going to attach on top of the card. Now you can use your dimensionals or do just like I did and leave it flat. I'm going to do the leaving it flat. I am going to be adding dimensionals to this one. It won't all just be flat. Okay, so we have that down, just like so. Now we're going to take this piece. You have a couple of designer series papers, but get this piece that has like the little sunburst on it, and this is on the other side. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to use this to lay the whole thing down, just like so. Now, technically you didn't have to use this whole sheet, so if you want to stop where you're going and listen, this is the same paper, right? I kind of gave you a little bit of extra here. You could just cut this piece in half and flip it over, and you're going to get that same thing right there. So then you have another little piece to create another card a little bit different way, if you would like to. If not, continue to put it together like I'm going to show you here. Okay, now this piece right here is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then this next piece that you have is 3 3/4 by 2.5. And all of these are going on flat. Just like so. Alrighty. Now, what do I do with my little cloud cover piece? Oh dear. Okay, let me see what I did with it. I don't know, so we're gonna go ahead and real fast cut one of these. So bear with me. It should be up here in all of my things. You should have a piece of cloud cover. It's a little strip that's in your little packet. It is a 1/2 by 3 3/4. And it looks like this. And then you're going to put that right on top of it, kind of in the center, and essentially, because you can see over here on this one, if you want, you can go up a little bit higher, just to kind of give this one a little bit, you know, it'll kind of bring it to where they're not just exactly the same height, but either way it won't matter. It will still look good. It's just your preference on how you want to create this little fella. All right, so there you go. There's that one. Now the last piece that you have is this right here. Now this is cut out from the Textured Notes dies. It's about 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And we're going to need our Secret C and Darling Duckling. Let me get my stamp real fast. And we're going to get the stamp set that says Sending Good Vibes. Okay. I'm gonna stamp my Sending Good Vibes first. I'm gonna get my ink. And we're going to see, because we're upside down. That ain't too bad, yeah? Now next, we're going to get that little sun that's in the stamp set. So let me get the pieces out, because there's a couple of pieces to this bad boy. Now the pieces that we're getting is this one right here and that one right there. Okay? So you're going to start with putting the half moon or the half circle, whatever it looks like to you. Now ink that up, and we're going to go about halfway down and stamp it like that. Now peel that off and add the little sun rays to it. Now you could go this way, starting from the top and working your way around, and that would work if you were trying to make a full sun. This one is actually half, so if you line it up on one side first, then it will fit perfectly around the half moon. So, how'd I do? Not too bad. I'm so proud. Okay. Next, take your thread and you're going to just wrap it around that and tie it, okay? So just leave a little piece here so that you have string to work with on one side, and then just wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. Well, hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to make it to where we tie the bow on one side. You can move it around if you have to get it to tie or get it to the side that you want, but so then you'll tie your bow around after you've tied it. It should wrap around 2 times. And then I like to take and spread it apart. So like give it a crisscross, or it can be just, let's see, hang on. Well, it's crisscrossed in the back, but it's lined in the front. We'll go with it. It don't look too shabby that way. What do you think? Yeah. And how do you hold that in place? Dimensions on the back, right? Okay, so let me flip it over and let's get our dimensionals. What did I do with mine? I don't know if you're looking for yours, but here we go. There's 1, 2, I'm gonna put one on each corner, and then I wanna put one here, here. And just to give it enough firmness, I'm gonna put some there. I know, it's a lot of dimensions, but that way it like holds it secure. And the last little bit here is adding it straight to the center, like so. Give it a good little press. Now you can trim your little strings to whatever desire that you want. And then that one's done too. And the only thing now you want to add to it is, that's right, your embellishment. So you're going to take one big one, and I'm going to add him over here, and I'm going to take another big one, and I'm going to stick it over here, and then I'm going to take a small one, just like that. Ta-da! Now I did find the inside. You want to do the inside, and I just added the little sun at the bottom on the inside. And again, I left it so that that way you can come and write whatever you would like. That's completely up to you on if you have greetings that you want to put inside of it, or just leave it with a little bit of an image. So I kind of came in just a little bit on this because I don't want I want to have my rays on there without them just completely falling off and not seeing the whole bit of them. It's okay if some of them do. I just want, so yeah, there you go. Now let's add some adhesive to the back of it, and we'll stick it on the inside, and then all we have to do is, guess that's right, we will finish up our envelope. Okay, here we go. So there is that one. Now with the envelope, you should have this paper this time. Yeah, see how it will come together on the outside, and you will do the same thing. One tip I will share though, if you can flip it over and still see the pencil line. I know this paper is a little bit darker. Do that, so then that way when you're trimming it, you don't see it, right? Like you don't. I don't know that I'll be able to see that anyway. We'll try. Even if you're using a pen instead of a pencil, if you use the opposite side, that way if you miss a mark or you kind of get off your line when you're cutting, it's okay. A pencil, you can always go back and erase it, but a pen you can't. So just a little fun tip there. Let me add some adhesive to it. There. And then you just slide your little card in there so that it's already inside the envelope and ready when you are ready to mail that baby. Okay, card number 2 is done. Now let's do this card. This is card number 3. Isn't this a cute stamp set? I love it. This is the packet you're gonna have. It's got the basic white cardstock, but it's the one with the little yellow pieces. Now you won't be needing all these little inserts, but I thought I would go ahead and share them with you so that way you can still create something fun with them if you so desire. So let me get my little piece out, set this to the side. All right, let me get my stamps together here. On this one, you're gonna need the hello stamp out of your little bundle, or whichever one that you choose. Okay, make sure I ain't got ink all over me. I feel like I already do. All right. Just like the other ones, the cardstock is at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at what? 4 1/4, that's right. So you're going to add it on here, or you got your, there it is. I was gonna say, I've already lost my bone folder, so I can't really press it down. Okay, so with this one, you have another piece of Secret C. Now this piece right here is 4 by 5 1/4, and you're gonna go ahead and lay it flat on here. So just bear with me, because we will be using our dimensionals again. So center it in the middle of your card base. Okay, now that one's laid down flat. And then you have a piece here. It's this beautiful designer series paper with all the little fun stripes and polka dots. It's green on that side. You're gonna lay this one down flat as well, okay? So get your adhesive and lay this one down flat. And this one is measured at 3 3/4 by 5. So lay that one down. Now you're going to take your rainbow cutout, the Darling Duckling rainbow cutout. This one is also cut at 3 1/4 by 5, and you're going to use your dimensionals to add it to the front of your card. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to want to add dimensional in the center here. Anywhere that's going to, because you want it, it's, that sheet's almost out. Put it in the 4 corners. You want to make sure that it has enough structure to it, okay? Because you have all of these little cutouts from the rainbow, and you want it to be able to stand on its own. And so that's why I'm going to add just a few more dimensionals than I normally would, okay? So normally it's like 5 and done. I got 1 on each corner and 1 in the center, and I just move on. But with this little guy, I want to make sure that he gets all of his glory. Okay, well, there's one more. Now this one is the same size as this last piece that you laid down. So go ahead and just line it up and then stick it down like that, and see how it gives the dimension in there. So cute. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, now you have a piece of Secret C in there, and it's a 1/2 inch by 1.5, and that's what your little hello is going to go on, and you're going to stamp it with your Secret C. See if I can get it on there straight. Ta-da! All right. Now before you attach him, get your little bow that was in your little packet, and we're going to do the same thing with that little guy that we did earlier. So I'm going to have him laid in the center of the back of, after you flip it over, lay it in the center, and then add some dimensionals. Let me get my scissors though, because my squares are about gone. So I'm just going to use a whole piece all the way across if I can hold that little guy in place. And then you just come to one side over here and you're going to add it just like so. And that is it. Isn't that adorable, adorable? Okay, so now we're going to have fun with some of these embellishments. I'm going to take the little, the petal pink, or I'm not quite sure what color that is. I'll have to look on the back. I'm going to add one up there, and then I'm going to take this dark green color, and I'm going to add one over here, and then I'm going to take the light blue. See, I'm going to tie all the colors in. Now that's big, big, and small if you're wanting to know exactly how I've got that going. And now I'm taking a large green one, and I'm going to add it up there. You know what I forgot? Oh my goodness. Let me finish. I done got ahead of myself, and I apologize, you guys, before we put this together. So to finish this, we have a big and small with the pink, as 2 small blues, and then 2 big greens, but it kind of brings the color together. Now what I did forget, so when you're creating your next one, you remember them sun rays that we used a while ago? Yeah, we were supposed to stamp those right here and right there before we attached it. So I apologize, I forgot. I was just getting ahead of myself and rolling right along here. So just a note, when you're putting the next one together, you could, if you're feeling froggy, try to put it on there, but I don't want to mess up my card. This one I left a blank inside too. So it's a quick little note card is the way I like to think about that. Now get your envelope out, and you have this paper here that's just like the paper that we put down on our card. Flip him over, outline him. So that way your envelope's complete, your whole card is complete. Just like so. And then we will already have 3 of our cards completed. How cool is that? All right, we're almost done. Hope you're having fun here. And all right, so let's add a little bit of adhesive. And then, uh-oh, I don't think I made that one straight, y'all. It is okay. All right, and that's the front of your, or the back of your envelope, front. Listen to me. So go ahead and take your finished card, slide it in the little pocket, and then that way they are together and they can be set to the side. And all this bundle is actually, once you've created these would be good for you to tie some ribbon around or bag up and give a friend. You know, here's some cards that they could give away. Super, you know, nice little fun gesture. All right, this is my favorite one. Look at that. Isn't it cute? I love it. It's my favorite, in case you didn't know. Now this is the one we're going to have the little fun with embossing, and there is a whole lot of pieces to it, you guys, just so you know. So bear with me. Let me get all of it out. You don't want to lose them. You want to get your Hello Darling stamp, and it is in 2 pieces, right? So I need to make sure that my hello is clean, because we're fixing to stamp with it, and I have blue ink on it. So go ahead and take that time if you haven't cleaned and you're following right along. Clean that little stamp up. And I'm gonna get a different block out, and let's go ahead and line them up on the block. Well, I'm confused, you guys. I'm making my hello upside down. That's what's messing me up. I kept thinking, why isn't that not looking right? So I'm lining them up so that they will fit on my little strip. See? Ah. Now don't worry, this one is clean. It's just stained from me using it in all the other colors. You can also use your grid paper to line them up that way, so that way you know that it is straight across. Or if you have the stamping plate that we had not too long ago, I think you actually can still get it. I'm gonna lay that booger down, see if I can't get him on here straight. All right, that's done. Now let's get our little pieces out and situated. So before we do anything, let's take this little square piece that you have, and it measures at 3 1/4 by 4. It's the little square that you have. It's the smallest basic white piece that you have in your packet. All right, this is the one that we're going to add our rainbow to. So the first piece that we want to take is the cloud cover piece that we have here, like that. Now I tried to get most of all of the things punched out for you, but go ahead and look. If there's any that you need to pop out right now, go ahead and do that on this piece before we attach it. You know, I thought those were little bitty hearts, but I don't think they're hearts. They look more like triangles. Huh. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna work it facing me, and then I'll turn it around so that you can see where it's your direction. But add just a tad bit of adhesive all the way around it. Again, be careful. You don't want to use multi-purpose glue and that stuff will go everywhere, right? Like, that is not what you're trying to do. So go ahead and add it on your piece, just like so. And then the next one we're going to take is these 2 little, what's the color I was using? It's Mossy Meadow. You've got 2 little leaves that are in Mossy Meadow. Now the idea is one goes one way and then one goes the other way, right? So that's how they're going to lay on your underneath your rainbow. That's the next piece that we're putting. So let me go ahead and dot a little bit of glue down one of them, and I'm going to add him down, following along the top of this one. Now do the same thing to the other side. Oh my goodness, I told you not to use too much glue, and I totally did. Now, let's see if I can not get glue all over my cardstock. Pickles. All right, so that's how we have it looking so far. The next piece that you're gonna get is the petal pink, which is this one right here. I can't seem to keep y'all a straight view here. Let me add a little bit of glue. And we're going to center him. In there just like so. Well, pickles, are y'all having trouble? We can get this. Just take your time. It's no big deal. All right, let me do the little pressing on this little green stuff. All right, the next one we're going to use is Secret C, and it's the little squiggly one. See that? So this one's kind of going to be tedious to add a little bit of glue to as well. Just dab it lightly. You don't want that glue. Now you might have to manipulate it inside your rainbow. He will fit though, no worries. Just give him a little squeeze, just like that. Now finally, we're going to use this Darling Duckling one. Let me, again, if you have anything that needs popped out, go ahead and take your paper piercing tool and get the rest of them out. So then that way you have a whole lot of dots going on. All right. Put him in there. Give him a little squeeze in. He will fit, I promise. All right, that's how it looks. Now in the side there, you would have a small, medium, and large heart. You're going to take that large one that you have and add him right into the center of your thing. And now your rainbow is complete. That's all you got to do with the rainbow. The next thing I want to go ahead and do is this piece right here with your Secret C. We're going to go ahead and do our embossing so that that is done and out of the way as well. So if you've not embossed, this is your how-to. So you're going to first take your embossing buddy and just kind of lightly dab it on top of your piece that you're fixing to stamp on. You're going to need some Versamark. Now the Versamark ink is just a special kind of ink that's going to allow this powder that we're going to add on to hold your sentiment. So now when you stamp, do your best to go closest to the left side like you did a while ago on the other one, because we're going to do just a tad trim on it. Do a good little firm press. Now if you look fairly closely here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. I guess, see, it's on there. That's what's going to hold our embossing powder. So take your embossing tray, and I'm going to get my bright white embossing powder and just sprinkle it on the top here. I like the tray because I can come back and get it all back into my jar. All right. If there's any extra on there, try to gently give it a little blow, and it most of the time will pop off. So now that you see that, I'm gonna set this out of the way. I'm gonna take my heating tool. Now it's ideally good if you use the tip of your scissors, or use take your pick tool to hold this down, and then turn on your heat gun. So it's going to get noisy just for a minute. And hold it there until you start seeing it. It'll start melting in a sense. And it'll get a tad bit brighter. Once it's done that, then start slowly moving it down along the rest of your letters. Hello, darling. Okay, now on the end with the G, because remember we stamped closest to the one end, we're going to do this little worm. Okay, we're going to do another little slant. So we're going to have this as the long end, so just kind of start from the bottom up to give that little slant, just like that. All right, that piece is done as well. Now let's start assembling this card. Super easy. Fold your piece in half. Now this is your standard 5.5 by 8.5. Now you're going to take, inside the pack you have 4 pieces of linen thread. So there's 2 for each card. Now go ahead and at one end hold them together where they're evenly up at this excuse me, they're evenly up at the one end. Now you're going to take your embossed paper, and just like with the other one, leave enough that you're going to be able to tie a bow, but you're just going to wrap it around it just like so. And then you're going to tie a knot in it on one end, okay? Not tie a knot, you're going to tie a bow together in one end. So it might curl up, just kind of flatten it back out. And what I do is separate my twine so that you can see that it's like that on one end, and I'll do the same thing on the side that I tied the bow, just so that it kind of gives an extra little bit of depth and texture on this embossed piece. Okay, so that's what you got going on now. Now I'm not going to trim anything off right now because I'm just going to add him to the front. You can kind of eyeball if you need to move this down a little bit before you attach this next piece, which I'm going to have to. So I'm going to just bend it a little bit to move him down to the corner, because now we're going to attach this down flat. You can add dimension if you would like, but I did not. The only dimension I'm adding to this is the Hello Darling. But again, it's your card. Please feel free to, make it your own. So let me add some adhesive, if you're using tear tape, whatever it is your favorite thing is. Now I'm gonna lay it to the center of my base of my card. Give it a good little press. And then that's how we have that. Now you're going to take our rainbow and we're going to attach him to the top. Again, I'm attaching it on flat, just like so, and just center him in the middle of the embossed piece. This makes such a cute baby. Oh my goodness. We live close to interstate. I don't know if you heard that. We're off on a frontage road, and I tell you what, when them big trucks go through and they blow a tire, it sounds like a bomb hit, and it just did that. And I just jumped like 2 feet. So loud. Okay. I am gonna add some dimensions to the back of the Hello Darling. And then I'm going to add it at the bottom, just like so. And that's it. Isn't that cute? Did I put that on straight? No. So real fast, let's get our envelope done for this card. Now, it's with the fun little rainbow. I thought it would be suiting to, it matches really well. So let's go ahead, trace around our envelope. And again, I mean, you can stamp on it if you have the stamp set. That way it coordinates that way as well. I just thought it was really fun to use the paper to tie it all in together. So that's what we did. And I feel like I just got way off of my line talking. Let's see. All right, here we go. I know. We all make those mistakes. It is a good idea too, when you're adding the adhesive to these for the outside of the envelope, to put the adhesive on the edges as much as possible. That way it don't peel up. And if it isn't completely, you can go through and trim it with your scissors. add my envelope with my card, and it all matches. So there you go, guys. I really hope that you enjoy putting these together. Share and tag me on any of my socials to see, so that I can see what you've done. And I will be back next month with a new fun tutorial. And I hope you were one of the few that got the bonus pillow gift inside your packet. So anyway, happy creating, and I will see you next month. Bye.